Hello friends, I am Dr. Vinod Kumar Advani from the Bhopal School of Social Sciences, Department of Commerce. Dear friends, today we are starting the session related with the term supply under GST. Supply is the main term under the GST. The supply is the focus point of the GST because the taxable event under GST law is the supply of goods and services. In this particular session, we will cover the introduction of the supply, the concept of supply, examples related with the supply of goods and services, and characteristics along with the different forms of supply. So, here we are going to cover 6 different topics under the term supply. First, we will understand what is the supply, what is the need of the term supply under GST. The taxable event under GST law is supply, means GST is chargeable on the goods and services supplied by a particular person. It means there is manufacturing, there is sell, there is services, there is purchase or entry or exit of the goods and services into a particular territory. Now, the goods and services tax is only based on the supply of the goods, means there is no supply, there is no GST. GST is charged on the supply of goods and services. Now, what we have to include in the term of supply? We have to include under the term of supply sell, transfer, exchange, barter, license, rental, lease and the disposal of any particular asset. All these are the different forms of the supply. Before introduction of GST, we have 2 different taxes. On the goods, we have VAT. On the services, we have service tax. GST is charged on both goods and services. So, all different forms of supply are taxable under the GST law. The taxable event under the particular existing indirect tax laws stands merged or subsumed into the GST Act. So, now supply includes all these different forms on which GST is chargeable or payable. Now, let us understand some examples of supply of goods. First of all, we have a sale made by the stationery dealer to the customer. This is simple sell from the retailer to the customer. It means it is B2C. Come to the next, electronic showroom is showing a sale of 10 TV sets of rupees 1 lakh. Again, it is retailer to customer, means B2C. Next, we have an automobile dealer is selling 5 motorcycle to their customer for rupees 95,000. Again, it is the supply from retailer to the dealer to the customer. It is B2C. Next, a cement manufacturing unit showing a daily sale of cement amounting to rupees this much to the dealer. It is not B2C, it is B2B now because it is from manufacturing unit to not customer to the dealers. Next, we have a different type of sell when a computer dealer is going to sell a computer of rupees 45,000 with an exchange of the old computer for rupees 10,000. This is also included under the term supply under GST Act, means it is not required to get full consideration into the cash. If it is under exchange, it is also supply. Now, we have some examples related with the supply of services. First example, common one related with the students, that is supply of coaching and tuition services. Supply of coaching services means supply of the broadband and telephone services. It is again a popular or a common service. Supply of medical services, supply of transport services and supply of cable and DTH services. All these services are termed as supply of services and it is taxable under GST Act. Now, with this particular definition, with this particular explanation, we have some essentials or ingredients or components of supply, means supply will be a valid supply if it cover all these points that we are going to learn now, that we are going to explain now. Each and every term is very important. In the absence of any particular term, the supply will not a valid supply, it will not taxable. First, we have supply of goods and services that we already discussed. Supply should be taxable means supply of goods and services is related with GST. For example, supply of petroleum product is not a taxable supply because the petroleum products are out of GST net. Supply of petroleum is taxable but not taxable under the GST law. Next, supply should be made by a taxable person means supplier of goods or services should be a registered dealer under GST Act, means a supply made by a particular person who is not registered is not a supply. For example, an agriculturist, a farmer, a cultivator growing crops, selling crops is not under GST, not under supply, because agriculturist is not a registered person under GST. Agriculturist is exempted from GST. Next, supply should be made within the taxable territory. Taxable territory means India. If we have any particular supply of goods and services that is 100% out of India, for example, supply of automobiles in the US city, any city of US, it is not a taxable supply because GST of India is not applicable in US. Next point we have, supply should be made in the exchange of consideration. Without consideration, there is no valid supply. Consideration can be in form of cash, can be in form of kind, or can be in form of both. Next, supply should be made in the course of business or for the growth of the business. It means supply of goods and services should be made by the business during the normal activities of the business or for the growth or expansion of the business, means supply should be related with business. For example, a salaried employee selling his or her old car is not a supply because selling of car is not a business of that particular salaried employee, salaried person. So, supply should be related with business. It can be the goods of the business or any other asset of the business, but it should be connected with business. So, now we have the summary of these essentials. Supply should be taxable supply means GST should be applicable. Supply of goods and services, others are not under GST. Supply should be in the taxable territory means it should be in India. Supply should be made by a taxable person. For example, we already covered the supply made by agriculturist is not a supply because agriculturist is not a taxable person. Supply should be for the furtherance of the business. Furtherance means the growth of the business, the expansion of the business means it is related with business. Consideration means supply should be with a particular consideration, partly cash, partly kind, or inclusion of both. Now, dear friends, we are going to understand the different forms of supply, means all these different transactions are treated as supply under the GST. Number one, that we already know, that is the base of each and every tax of indirect tax or indirect type tax, it is sell. Yes, sell of any type of goods and services means transfer of ownership, obviously it is supply. 99% transactions of supply are related with sell of goods and services. Transfer, compulsory transfer of ownership, once you are transferring any particular asset for permanent or for time being to any particular person, it is transfer, it is also under supply. Next, barter means the CC economy, exchange of goods and services with another goods or services, it is also termed as supply under GST. Next is exchange. If we are purchasing any particular goods or services with partial or fully exchange of the old goods or any other service, it is also taxable. For example, I am going to purchase a laptop, the original value of laptop is 60,000, but I am giving also in the exchange old laptop valued at rupees 10,000, then full value of laptop means 60,000 will be taxable supply, valid supply. Next is license or franchisee. Once a particular company gives any particular license, means the permission to use the brand for the production of the goods, for the manufacturing of the goods or selling of the goods. This is also termed as supply. If it is related with goods, it is known as license. If it is related with the services, it is known as franchisee, but under GST both are valid supply. Next we have rental or lease. Once you are giving any particular asset on rent other than the commercial, other than the commercial house, other than the residential house, it is also rental or lease. Residential house is not covered under GST, other house, other premises rent is covered under GST. So, it is also a form of, a particular form of supply. Next we have disposal. Disposal means disposal of assets, fixed asset after its working life, after its useful life. Once in a factory the machine become obsolete, machine become useless, that particular manufacturing unit or company can dispose of, can sell this particular machine, old machine. This is known as the disposal. Disposal means selling of the old asset which now become obsolete or useless. This is also supply under GST. It is different from the ordinary supply of goods and services. So, dear friend, this is the topic that we covered today. We already covered in this particular session the introduction and the concept of the supply, different examples of supply of goods and services. We also covered characteristics or essentials of a supply, and finally we covered different forms of supply under GST. Thank you.